is all the good times we had as a team. I'm Josie Foote, a junior, and I'm proud to be a Sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Boston.
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting Sailor Sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the Sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
Hi, Steamboat friends. This is Charlie Green from Mountain Mattress and Furniture. Do you ever notice how grumpy your parents get when house guests arrive? Or how mean your big sister gets when you have to share her room for the weekend? I've got the secret to keep everyone happy. Stop by Mountain Mattress and Furniture on Loggers Lane for the best price and selection on Serta, Tempur-Pedic, and Simmons mattresses. Plus a great selection of linens and even comfy mattresses for the pull-out couch. If everyone sleeps, everyone stays happy, and a great mattress from Mountain Mattress and Furniture is the secret.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, my name is Katie. I'm number 11, and I'm a senior this year. I play shooting guard, play guard, and I also like to run cross country and play lacrosse. Outside of school and sports, I'm also, actually no, I don't have a life outside of school and sports. I would like to go to college at school science, probably. I think I really like it. That's a hard question. Will I play in college? Probably not. In 10 years, I have no idea where I see myself. I can't even figure out where I want to go to college, so... My favorite movie isn't Spider-Man Homecoming anymore. I found a new movie. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, by the way. Something About Mary. I think it's called Something About Mary. No, is that the name of the movie? Can we leave this stuff? It's something like that. It's the funniest movie I've ever watched. Please go watch it. Last summer, oh my gosh, I went to a nerd camp at School of Mines, and it was the greatest experience ever. Absolutely loved it. And my goal for this season is to be able to play. I tore my ACL in April, so I hope that I'm able to get back and play this year. And my goals for life are to be happy. And what I remember most about being a Sailor is my time with my team. all the team dinners that we've had, all the opportunities they've taken to make fun of me. My name's Katie. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm proud to be a Sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Ward of the Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball. On KTYV Sports on FM, Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
Managing local land involves balancing resources such as agriculture, water, and wildlife. I'm Brian Ripley, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Route County. I'm the Ranch and Rural Property Specialist for the Palisade Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Ripley, and you can find me at thepaleagroup.com in the Ranch Division.
Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM is brought to you by Valley Bank.
Alpine Lumber, Celebration, Mountain View Car Wash, Steamboat Ace Hardware, Rose Auto Salon, Mountain Mattress and Furniture, Steamboat by Window Vacation Rental, and the Paley Group with Colorado Group Realty.
Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors basketball.
Excited to welcome everybody in here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast. I'm Lowen Epstein on the call at Kelly Meek Gymnasium on 105.7 KTYV. You can also watch our live stream at SteamboatRadio.com. In the booth with me today, Ryan Hansen. Ryan, it's been a week hiatus since we've joined the airwaves together. Steamboat Springs girls getting us back underway at Kelly Meek Gymnasium as they take on the Palisade Bulldogs in a conference game that should be a tough one. Sailors girls looking to string together another win. They're coming off of back-to-back wins. Is there a chance that they can get a third one to add to that?
Hey, they got to control the momentum of the game, control the tempo, and maybe put in some extra work on defense tonight, but it certainly is possible. They got that momentum coming in from the last two games, as you said, and anything's possible.
Sailors girls playing against this very tall Palisade lineup. If we take a look at this roster, Ryan, let's go down the list. Kendall McIskill, 6'1", the junior guard. Keep going down, you find Elizabeth Hawkins, the junior center. She's also 6'1". Alexis Marashak, she's 6'2". This is a very tall team for Palisade, one that the Sailors girls frankly aren't going to match up very well against. So I was talking to Coach Ibarra during the pregame, and he told me that defensively they were looking to kind of stay into a man defense, try to get under the skin of this team, try to play as physical as possible. I think that's a good strategy to start out.
Yeah, I think it's a good look because with these bigger opponents, you can get a little bit more physical, but it also is kind of nice because then you see that George is kind of trusting Sam Campbell to take over the paint and really rotate to help if someone gets beat out of that man D, yeah.
Sailors still scoreless here as the first minute runs off in the first quarter. Katie Lake brings it up the floor. She just brings it just beyond the midline. Now they work it into the corner. Now down into the center. Epstein loses it for a moment. It's kicked back out. Worked far side. JC May, 10-footer, no good off the glass. That won't fall. Palisade pulls down the board quickly now on the other end. Bulldogs sporting their maroon uniforms with white numbers, white lettering. There's a deep three. That one has a little bit too much mustard on it as Palisade's able to pull it down once more. Working, cross-court pass. It's Morgan Selden. Selden's going to be guarded by Epstein. Now she dishes it inside. And a foul is going to be called here as Alexis Marashak was trying to attack the basket. It'll be a travel on the floor. Goes against the Bulldogs. Sailors awarded possession once more.
Palisade putting the press on early here, kind of looking to speed the Sailors up, probably make them quick shoot to try and get those rebounds with the bigs down low.
Yet another turnover called here. This time it's an out of bounds as JC May just tiptoes along the far side. She gets caught slipping, and now Palisade gets it back. So bringing it up the floor for the Bulldogs, this is going to be Addie Steele. Steele works it over to the near side. Here's Marina Flores. Flores now dishes it into Marashak. She's going to try to post up, puts one high off the window. That one can't fall, and now it's on the ground, pulled away by Erica Simmons. Sailors, typically more of a shaky defensive team, looking strong here to start off. Here's Katie Lake. She goes behind the back, loses it for a moment, stays with Steamboat. And I wanted to, Coach Ibarra came up to me, and, you know, last game we were talking about we were talking about Sam Campbell and her limited minutes in the last game, how she didn't play that much. And Coach Ibarra came up to me wanting to just clear some stuff up because he went back and listened to our broadcast. Said that she's been dealing with a pretty serious illness and that last week she was actually very sick, and she asked Coach herself to be put on limited minutes. So anyone who's wondering about that, that is the story behind Samantha Campbell. As the Sailors take a timeout here, it's still scoreless, 0-0 at Kelly Meek Gymnasium as the Sailors girls looking to get their third win in a row this season. And Ryan, you know better than anyone, this is a team that's been on the brink of a 50-game losing streak. So for them to get a win here today, especially go back-to-back against two very skilled conference opponents, that would be huge.
Yeah, Palisade is a huge game. I know Coach George is prepping for it. And they've really been kind of keeping an eye on this team because this team is one of the better teams they're going to play all year. They have that size, but they also have that defensive aspect. They can change defenses and give you different looks that just make it that much harder on offense.
And the Sailors with a missed opportunity there on offense. Here comes Palisade back down the near side. They work it around the horn now, up to the top of the key. This is going to be Addie Steele. Steele, this 5'7" junior, is going to work it over to the near side, back to Marina Flores, and now a foul is going to be called on the floor. This one goes against the Sailors. I believe it'll be against Erica Simmons. Indeed, it will be. So it's a holding call on the floor. 5:05 to play. Both teams looking for their first bucket of the game. Marishak corrals the inbounds pass. She's guarded by Epstein. Marishak works over. She's going to stutter step, bring it inside. Here's a turnaround J off the glass, and that's good for two. Elizabeth Hawkins gets it to fall. Now the Sailors looking to even it back up. Katie Lake calling out the play, top of the key. She dances with it just beyond midcourt. Staying solitary now, working it to the near side. Here's Simmons. Now back to May. May surveying, little give and go. JC May drives in. Here's Lake for three. Off the front iron, no good. Pulled away by Palisade. Good physical rebounding there from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Lake with the miss there, but that's something that we both like to see, her actually getting shots up.
And another shot from Palisade. That falls again. They make it a 4-0 lead. Sailors trying to play catch-up now. A full court press put in play, and they throw it away there. JC May with an errant pass and little miscommunication. Palisade Bulldogs back on the other end. Addie Steele, three ball, no good. It's gathered by Simmons. Simmons to Katie Lake inside. She finds Campbell for two. Sam Campbell gets the teardrop floater to go, and it just barely taps off the window. Nice shot from Sam Campbell. Stolen away for a moment by Epstein. Palisade again, three ball, near side, from the corner, no good. Katie Lake's there. She works it up, fast break. Campbell, she's going to shoot free throws. Sam Campbell, rack attack.
Lake to Campbell, back to back there. First Campbell with the bucket, second Campbell with the free throws, and that's something you really like to see. Little playmaking, little dish out right into a foul. 2 free throws for Sam Campbell.
Now Campbell at the line. She'll have a couple. First one off the back iron, and you have a feeling that free throws are going to be an important thing in this one today, Ryan. So many times in the past we've seen the Sailors kind of have a lot of opportunities at the charity stripe and just seemingly can't get them to fall in certain games, and we've seen the effects that it has on them. I'd go as far to say they've won and lost games at the free throw line.
Yeah, in games where they've made the same amount of shots as the other teams, just are near the same amount. Pardon me. When they've made the same amount of shots, they've still lost, but just because they've missed those 10 free throws that happen late in the second quarter when both teams are in bonus and are just fouling, going back and forth.
Katie Lake gets a steal, and Erica Simmons was on the other end. She tried to finish it off, couldn't get it to fall, but that'll be more free throws for Erica Simmons. It's a 4-2 game with 2:57 to play in the first quarter. Simmons at the free throw line. This one goes up and in. She'll have one more now, as she looks to even this one up 4-3. And surprisingly, Palisade has been pretty much shut down so far. Sailors in this man defense playing them extremely tough as she misses the second free throw. Katie Lake's there for the rebound. Lake looks inside, fires a pass to Campbell, and she turns around and buries it. So now the Sailors take a 1-point lead. Palisade working it up the floor. Here's a 3-point shot. That one misses everything. Kendall Macaskill wishing she had that one back. Whistle on the floor. Sailors take possession. Shelby Weiss from the baseline now. Palisade's going to call off the Dogs. No more full court press. J.C. May checks into the game. Katie Lake's going to check out. Daisy Wilson also going to have some minutes at the scorers table as she checks in. Sam Campbell going to be taken out. So Coach Ibarra toying with the lineup here, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Sailor's going to bring it up the floor, moving right to left on your radio dial. Here's Simmons. Simmons, handoff pass. This goes to J.C. May. May touches it over to Weiss. Now it's Simmons in the corner. She drives the baseline, puts up a shot, no good. Pulled away by the Bulldogs. Palisade looking to get a win here, as they're also having sort of a struggling season, just a few games above 500, as a turnover from the Bulldogs here. It goes out of bounds. Sailors get it back. Simmons drives, kicks. May slows it down. May works it over to the far side, back into the corner. She's going to paint it. No good, off the window. That was Simmons for 3, and now the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be awarded back to Palisade. Bella Gigo checks in, the 5'7" junior. Gigo checks in, and Cassidy Brittner checks out. And now a timeout called by Palisade. I want to say a quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV, also on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between Town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Russell's Auto Salon, 879-1515. Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more, by offering customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products.
And if you're just joining us now, once again, I'm Lone Epstein in the booth here with Ryan Hansen on the call for this Sailors girls basketball game, as they're in the midst of a tough one with the Palisade Bulldogs conference matchup. Ryan, we will not be on the call for this boys game later today. Unfortunately, the coin toss today is going to go to the Steamboat hockey team, who is taking on a tough opponent in the Aspen Skiers. That game at the Howie Dome will be at 7:45, so if you are unable to hear our blessed voices over the airwaves, good thing you have Brian Harvey. He'll be on the call there at the Howie Dome. Once again, that game will be at 7:45 against Aspen. Sailors boys will be here taking on Palisade as well. Tomorrow, Ryan, 2 more games within the conference in what should be a good one. Rifle making its way through the snowstorm. They're going to come to town for another back-to-back. That should be a fun one too.
Yeah, the girls' game will be really good competition, and the guys' game as well. I mean, I feel like some people kind of write off Rifle in the conference, but both the guys and the girls' teams are typically right there in the middle, if not nearing the top.
And those games will be tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon. Girls will play at 12:30. Boys will play at 2 o'clock. We'll be here for both of those. So back onto the floor, Sailors holding on to a 1-point lead, 5-4, 47 seconds to play in the first. On the defensive end, Palisade looking to inbound it. They throw it in, find Hawkins. Hawkins kicks it back out. Here's a 3, that one's short. Kendall Macaskill can't get it to fall. She gets the rebound, finds Magdalena Letek. Letek now dishes it over. Here's Hawkins, who finds a slip through the middle of the defense, and she shakes her way for 2 more right under the rack. 6-5, Sailors trailing by 1 again. This ball's tipped up, stolen away. Here's Letek. She gets to the rack again, and she'll get fouled. Magdalena Letek shooting a pair. 6-5. This one is going to go against J.C. May. It'll be her first of the game. 19 seconds to play in the first quarter. as Latek missed the first one. Second one gets it to go. Sailors got to make quick work now. 7-5, they get it stolen away. Now they get it back. Still got 10 seconds on the clock. Here's JC May. Turns with it. Finds Simmons into the corner. It's Harrison. Back out to Simmons. Finds Weiss. She paints the corners, and the 3 ball's short. She can't get it to go, and that'll do it after 1. 7-5, Sailors trailing by 2 in what thus far has been a nitty-gritty matchup. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, the Sailors only subbing one time, a little bit more of a shallow bench than we usually see. Usually you see 5-6 girls on the bench. Tonight you only see 3, but that alone isn't really stopping the Sailors this far. They've been playing pretty well. They only rotated one time in the first quarter, as we talked about, but they're looking good. That man defense kind of paying off. Palisade coming out with 7 points. That's kind of typical for their defense, but it's all right because when they get those rotations, when Sam Campbell gets back in and Rose Epstein, and they can rotate down in the post, then that'll kind of help those post shots that got them up a little bit.
And it kind of seems to me that this man defense for the Sailors has been working wonders. They have been very aggressive in the paint. They've had a lot of active hands. And athletically, these Sailors are matching up very nicely with the Bulldogs from what I've seen.
Yeah, the height not really playing too much of a factor so far, which is a good look for the Sailors in the rebounding department, but the turnovers right at about half court is something that they really have to avoid going to the second here.
So coming out of this first quarter break, Sailors gonna tip off the second quarter. It'll be Katie Lake. Lake finds JC May. May puts up a shot. That'll be saved by Epstein. Kicks it back out to Weiss, and the floater's no good as well. So Weiss can't get the second attempt to fall. Then it goes out of bounds. The Sailors going to have another opportunity here. Shelby Weiss from the baseline's going to inbound it. Epstein, Campbell, Lake, and May on the floor for the Sailors. Weiss looks up, finds Katie Lake. Lake now working, gives it back to Weiss. She comes around the corner. Here's a 3. That one misses everything, goes out of bounds. Bulldogs going to get it back. So an air ball from Shelby Weiss. We know it won't waver her confidence, though, as she continues to put up shots, as Epstein's going to get a takeaway here. Epstein gives it out to May. Now they're just going to slow it down. Here's Shelby Weiss. JC May, pump fake into the corner. They lose it, and it's stolen away by Magdalena Latek. She's all the way to the rack off the glass, and she can't get it to go. Campbell's going to get fouled as she tried to meet Macaskill at the rim. Now Macaskill's going to have an opportunity to extend the lead here. 7-5, 7:21 to play in the first half. Macaskill can't hit the first one. Now Erica Simmons is going to check in for JC May, who will have a seat on the bench. Simmons, number 2, the junior point guard. She's been a fixture on this team since she was a freshman. Macaskill, second free throw falls. Make it 8-5. Sailors down by 3. Trying to break the full court press. Here's Lake. Ball's tipped up. Almost stolen away, and it's going to be an over and back call as the toe of Sam Campbell just crept over the line, and they're just basically unlucky that the ref was even there to see it. Palisade gets it back. Latek's on the floor with it. Now an entire scrum. A travel's going to be called, and the Sailors catch a break here.
And that's another result of the press. That tight pressure on the inbounds makes it really easy for a defender like Katie Lake to get her hand in there, knock it loose, and cause a tie-up, which we usually see a lot of in their games.
And another over and back call, as this time it's Katie Lake. So the Sailors with back-to-back, I mean, what's the way you, how would you describe mental fouls like that? I mean, just kind of blunders.
That before.
Blunders. That's really all they are.
Yeah, blunders is a good way.
Minor mental blunders causing the Sailors harm early in this game. Now another foul on the floor. I think this one might be against Epstein. And instead it'll be against Simmons. So Palisade inbounding it. It's going to be Alicia Yanowich. Yanowich gives it over to Addie Steele. Steele's guarded by Epstein. Steele into the corner. Epstein on her. She runs into the pick. And now a timeout's going to be called by Palisade. No timeout. What was the... They get her for an offensive foul. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So Macaskill gets called for the offensive foul. Sailors now going to get it back. Let's see if finally they can put something together. 8-5. We're just underway here in the second quarter. It's Katie Lake, far side. Lake gets it stolen away, and now it's going to be Macaskill on the other end. She takes a hard foul. Weiss helps her up, but she's going to head to the free throw line and shoot 2. So the Sailors just telegraphing their passes. It looks like Palisade just having a field day in the lanes. They're filling them up like defensive backs, coming away with interception after interception, and they're turning it to points on the other end.
Yeah, every pass being telegraphed to the point where Erica Simmons just had to go right into the middle of the paint, kind of get everybody on the same page, and just said, hey, just give it a little pass fake up high and then get it down low. It's not... You can take your time with these passes is what she's trying to tell him.
Macaskill misses the first one. Kendall Macaskill, her sister, also on the team. As Macaskill misses both of them. Sailors quickly now. It's Shelby Weiss. Weiss turns around. Spritz pass over to May. Back out to Weiss. Deep three. That one's way off. Ball goes out of bounds. And once again, the Sailors with a empty possession there. They haven't been able to come up with points on the offensive end for a while now.
Yeah, they're struggling on offense significantly more than they had in their very last game. They came out on fire. They came out making that one more pass and looking for those good shots, and tonight they're having a tougher time.
So now on the defensive end, it'll be J.C. May getting a takeaway. May crossover dribbles all the way beyond midcourt, and she loses it as soon as she gets into the offensive zone. So the Sailors just giving the ball up right as soon as they get it back. And now Palisade's going to have another offensive opportunity. Here's Marina Flores. Flores draws the foul, and it's going to be a pushing call against the Sailors. It'll go against Shelby Weiss. So that puts the Sailors at 16 fouls in the half. One more is going to put them into the bonus, and it's pretty darn early to be put into the bonus, wouldn't you say?
Hey, you saw when Erica Simmons got her second foul, Coach Obama was pretty mad, but he wasn't mad at her. He was mad that she had just gotten her second foul, because that is a player you want to keep on the court almost at all times.
Sailors get a takeaway off the inbounds pass. Quickly now, it's going to be J.C. May bringing up the floor. May gets it tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Sailors as the Sailors are donning their all-white uniforms, red numbers, red letters, red piping down the sides, looking mighty fresh here on this Friday night game at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. 5:42 to go in the first half. Sailors trailing 8-5. Into the corner we go. It's Shelby Weiss. She gets it stuffed back into her own hands, and now it's going to be a tie-up on the floor as Erica Simmons gets caught up with Macaskill. Kendall Macaskill. Morgan Selden going to come in the game here. Addie Steele going to take a seat on the bench. They work it inbounds from the baseline. Here's the Bulldogs. Latek driving to the baseline. No good. Pulled away by Campbell. Campbell's going to get another tie-up. This time it'll be awarded back to Steamboat. 5:21 to play in the first half.
Flores for the Palisade Bulldogs doing a really good job of slashing through that Steamboat defense, but they've just been having a tough time finishing those inside shots since the first quarter.
Now it's going to be J.C. May. May works it down low. Weiss for three. Can she hit? No, it rims out. Epstein's there for the board, and she stepped out of bounds just barely. And Rose Epstein giving it back to the Bulldogs.
Coach Ibarra firing an absolute bullet back down to the baseline over there to the ref.
Coach Ibarra, not the shabbiest of an athlete himself. I mean, you take a look at him, and sure, he may only be 5'4", but man, You can check his 40-yard dash time. We're talking Bo. We're talking Bo Jackson.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking Neon Dion.
Anybody who's had the pleasure to see him on the men's league court would surely know that Mr. Ibarra surely has game.
Big congratulations to Coach George Ibarra, as he was also recently named the new head coach for the Sailors boys baseball team. That season starting up here shortly, and I know that he's excited about that. Coach Ibarra, he's been a long-time baseball family. I know his son Austin, who's on this JV team for the boys here, you know, he's a big baseball player. So talking to a lot of the kids on that boys team, they're pretty excited about what Coach Ibarra brings to the table and his coaching tendencies as he's showing off here tonight with his girls team. 3-ball from Weiss. She just has not been able to hit that one tonight, and usually I promise you she's going to hit one tonight. She's going to hit a couple, but right now she just seems to be a little bit cold as the Sailors are still trailing by 3, 4:15 to play in the first half. JC May, far side, top corner, bounce pass now to Simmons. Simmons tries to thread the needle. She was looking for Epstein inside. That one goes, and it's tipped out of bounds. Sailors going to get it back. Katie Lake going to come onto the floor. Shelby Weiss will take a seat on the bench. And now Katie Lake on the baseline is going to inbound it. Epstein, Campbell, Simmons, and May on the hardwood for your Sailors. They look up, find May, stop and pop the shot immediately. That one with a little bit too much on it. That's a misfire, and Palisade has it on the other end. Here's a coast-to-coast layup, and a charge is going to be called against the Bulldogs. JC May does a good job there of sacrificing the body and getting into the lane. 3:56 to play, 8-5. Sailors down. Here's Epstein. Touch pass to May. May brings it beyond midcourt. Now works it into the corner. Now inside to Epstein. Turnaround off the glass. That one has too much on it. Katie Lake gets it back and hits the 2-point jumper. 8-7. 1-point game. Macaskill throws it away. Epstein steals it. Up the floor. Here's Campbell. Campbell driving. Loses her balance, sends it to Epstein, airballs the whole thing. 15-footer, no good. Back to May for the reconnect. Nothing doing there. Sailors coming up empty again. 8-7 still, 3:11 to play in the second quarter. Foul's going to be called against Epstein as she goes along the baseline. Gets a little bit too physical. That'll be bonus territory for the Bulldogs as they'll be shooting a 1-and-1 from here on out. 3:07 to go in the second quarter. Sailors down by 1, 8-7. First free throw no good from Bella Gigot. Gigot has one more. Macaskill checks out of the game. Kaylee Chutka checks in. Another missed free throw there from Palisade. Sailors get it back. Here's a wide open shot from Katie Lake. That rims out. And one thing that I've noticed about this Palisade team is, you know, you said earlier, Ryan, that height really hasn't played a part in it. Well, height hasn't played a part in it on the scoring end. But if we're talking about rebounds and going up for boards on the glass, man, Palisade is dominating that stat. Right?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. They've done a better job in the second quarter of actually boxing out, and everybody boxing out, more so of a team rebounding approach to it, because you saw in that first half, I'm sure in the low post they weren't doing that great of a job of boxing out, so Rose Epstein got a few more rebounds then.
Here we go now, it's Palisade. They lead by 3, 10-7, 2:21 to play in the second quarter rather. Palisade looks inside. Here we go. It's Kaylee Chutka. Chutka puts up a shot. Campbell reaches out and grasps the board. And a whistle's going to be called on the floor here. This one goes against Elizabeth Hawkins. And now the Sailors are one foul away from being put into the bonus themselves. Lake on the inbounds pass. Sailors looking to finish out this first half strongly as she dishes it into J.C. May. May back to Lake. Now pitch and catch down the floor to Simmons. Simmons back to Lake again. She gets it stolen away for a moment. Dishes it out to Simmons. Here's a three ball on the way from May. Can't get that to go. Now it's going to be a tie up under the basket. Finally popped out and gathered by the Bulldogs. Magdalena Letek and company back the other way for Palisade. And J.C. May gets her hands in the lane. A block from Campbell. Sailors defense doing it all. Second quarter action. Foul on the floor. Pushing call goes against Palisade, and now the Sailors in 1-1 territory are going to send J.C. May to the free throw line to shoot. Foul was against Addie Steele. That's her second of the game.
Yeah, J.C. May kind of got the quick rebound, and kind of turned around and they had a little collision there, and they awarded the foul to the Sailors.
90 seconds to go in the first half. May missed the free throw, trying to post up. That's a good play again from Campbell, as she was not letting Elizabeth Hawkins, who stands at 6'1", have anything. 1:27 to play. 10-7. Here's Palisade into the corner. Letek for three. Misfire. Ball's on the floor. Travel's going to be called against Campbell and the Sailors. So the Bulldogs get it back under their own basket. Morgan Selden inbounding it. Selden finds Chutka. It's stolen away by Epstein. She's on the floor. And it was J.C. May, rather. She gets bailed out by Coach Ibarra, who decides to call a timeout. And with $1:14 remaining to go in the first half, Sailors hanging in there down by 3. Want to say another quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at steamboatradio.com.
The Paoli Group. If you are searching for your own prime real estate, give them a call at 870-0552. Celebrations, formerly in Celebration of Kids, is fun for kids of all ages. Check out brand new arcade games, 1,600 square foot candy store, and 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice plus more. Schedule your party today at steamboatcelebrations.com. Hot Stuff Hearth and Home is locally owned and operated, featuring all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more, and always quality, expert service. Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals. Friends coming to town? Call us at 970-879-8000 for the Locals Connection discount. Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more by offering customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products.
Sailors coming out of the timeout here with 1:11 to play in the first half. Here's Epstein getting us started off with a 10-footer. That one is just a little bit short. Sailors get the rebound. Here's J.C. May. May bounce pass inside, and that one's going to be muscled away by the Bulldogs. So Magdalena Letek drives in, tries to kick it away. Here's a shot. That one's off the back iron. No good. Pulled down by Marishak. She can't get the second attempt to fall. And finally, Katie Lake's going to come away with this one. 40 seconds to go now. Lake up the far sideline, loses it. She's on the floor, dishes it away. Somehow prevents the Bulldogs from stealing it. Gets it back to May. May gathers the ball again off the floor, and a jump ball is going to be called here. It's awarded to the Sailors.
A lot of changes in possession late in the second here. It's been a pretty long couple of minutes.
Indeed there are. 25 seconds to play. Here's Epstein inside to May, and she gets that one absolutely denied. JC May feeling the wrath of Marischak in the paint. Final 14 seconds. Hard collision. Simmons gets tied up with Marina Flores. And I think that'll be enough to send Marina Flores to the line. Simmons rather, for a 1-and-1. So they get Flores for the foul. I have a feeling it probably could have gone either way. No, they're now. Yeah, I was confused for a moment. Simmons was standing at the free throw line like she was the one that was going to shoot free throws. But rather, indeed, I was correct on the first time. It will be Flores. So Flores misses the lone free throw. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Palisade. Campbell was the last one to touch it. 12 seconds to play here in the first half. 10-7. And here we go, Palisade. Latek works it around. Here's Selden. Selden inside. Marischak posting up high off the glass. No good. The second attempt from Hawkins. And that'll draw a foul. So with 0.5 seconds on the clock, literally a half second remaining, which is not what you want to see. You never want to foul with such little time on the clock. Hawkins draws the foul as she's looking to extend this lead before they head into the locker room. Indeed, she will. She hits the first one, make it 11-7 now. And she'll have one more. So the Sailors girls going to head into the locker room down 11-7 as Hawkins misses the second one. That'll do it for this first half of action at Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Once again, for Ryan Hansen, I'm Lowen Epstein on 105.7 KTYV, also on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. We'll see you after the break.
KTYV Sports on FM is brought to you by Valley Bank.
Hearth at Home, Alpine Lumber, Celebration, Mountain View Car Wash, Steamboat Ace Hardware, Russell's Auto Salon, Mountain Mattress and Furniture, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rental, and the Paley Group with Colorado Group Realty.
Steamboat Sailors Basketball on KTYV Sports on FM at 105.7 and SteamboatRadio.com.
Hey, Sailor basketball fans, PJ Wardson of Yampa Valley Bank here to thank you for supporting our hometown basketball team. Yampa Valley Bank is proud to support all of our student athletes and to sponsor this broadcast of Steamboat Sailors basketball on KTYV Sports on FM. Steamboat High School Athletics are an example of our genuine hometown. Yampa Valley Bank, genuine hometown banking. Enjoy the game and go Sailors!
This is Skip Beardorf from Alpine Lumber here in Steamboat Springs. Alpine Lumber is a Colorado company and is committed to being the best supplier of materials and related services to the professional builder and homeowner throughout the Yampa Valley, offering lumber and building materials, hardware, paints, and stains. And we are proud to support Sailors basketball. Easy to find Alpine Lumber, located on Pine Grove Road past Walgreens. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, contractor's choice, the homeowner's home.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, I'm Rose Epstein and I'm a junior at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 32 and I play the
post position. I've played since middle school and all throughout high school so far. I also like to mountain bike in the summer and hang out with my friends. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in helping my brother who's special needs. In 10 years, I see myself in school, just working probably and trying to make a living. My favorite subject in school right now is math, probably because it's a challenge, but I also really like it. My favorite movie is Bridesmaids because it's all I can always laugh. Last summer, I mountain bike raced like every weekend. It was super fun. My favorite race was probably Powderhorn because we had a lift service access and I got second place. My goal for this season is to average more points than I did last year, probably 2 points a game. What I'll remember most about being a sailor is all my friends I made and the sports that keep us a family. I'm Rose Epstein, I'm a junior in high school and I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Hi, this is Grace. My parents own Hot Stuff Hearth & Home and proudly support the Steamboat Sailors. We feature all things heat, fireplaces, stoves, outdoor living, and more. Call them today at 879-7614 to schedule a service appointment with one of our expert technicians or a free in-home estimate for a whole new look. Hot Stuff loves my Steamboat Sailors basketball and is happy to keep this valley safe and warm. Hot Stuff Hearth & Home, located just off Highway 40 next to Walgreens. Go Sailors!
The team of Mountain View Car Wash and Detailing Professionals is proud to be supporting sailor sports this season. Whether a basic wash or a full detail, we know that the key to providing you with excellent service is teamwork and attention to detail. So while the sailors are focusing on cleaning up the competition this season, we'll be focusing on cleaning up your vehicle. With affordable washes and a wide variety of detail services, we have the game plan to fit your budget and needs. We are located at the corner of Highway 40 and Trafalgar Drive. Mountain View Car Wash, where there are no Hail Marys, just awesome touchdown dances.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
I'm Parker Lindquist. I'm a sophomore at Steamboat Springs High School. I'm number 35 on the basketball team, and I'd say I play power forward. So this year is going to be my first year playing on the varsity team. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in Venue Church. I volunteer there and I'm a participant. I'm not really sure where I'd like to go to college so far. We'll just see where life takes me. I'd love to play in college if given the opportunity. Basketball for sure. In 10 years, I'm not exactly sure where I see myself, to be honest with that. My favorite subject in school is I like computer science. That's a good one. My favorite movie, Ghostbusters. It's just full action. Love it. Last summer I worked at Carl's. It's a good work environment. And I hung out with friends a lot. My goal for this season is to get comfortable with varsity game speed and just pull massive boards. My goals for life are, my main goal is just to be happy. What I remember most about being a sailor is bus rides and hanging with the boys for sure. My name is Parker. I'm a sophomore. And I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
Managing local land involves balancing resources such as agriculture, water, and wildlife. I'm Brian Ripley, and I have over 16 years of experience managing ranch resources as your neighbor here in Routt County. I'm the Ranch and Rural Property Specialist for the Palisade Group with the support of Colorado Group Realty. Put your trust in someone that has the practical experience and knowledge to help you with all of your ranch, rural, and equine property needs. I aspire to help you reach all of your real estate goals. I'm Brian Ripley, and you can find me at thepalisadegroup.com in the Ranch Division.
I'm Terry, and this is Phil from Russell's Auto Salon. If you need help with your auto collision repair, we make it easy. Just bring me an email and a claim number, and I'll take care of the rest.
Russell's Auto Salon, Colorado's premier collision center, leading the industry in technology, where we have gone green with enviro-based paint, and we are proud supporters of Steamboat Sailors Sports.
Russell's Auto Salon, where we always meet by accident. 879-1515.
Russell's Auto Salon.
879-1515.
Steamboat Ace is a proud sponsor of the Steamboat Sailors. That's not the only way Ace supports the kids in our community. Hi, Bridget here from Steamboat Ace. We are so proud to be a part of the Steamboat community. It's our priority to support and encourage positive activities and hobbies for our youth. How do you do that? In addition to local scholarships, ACE invites the sailor community to fundraise for their activity or club by providing a great venue and supplies to host a hot dog or bake sale. I love it. Every weekend I can shop at ACE and support a great cause. Steamboat Ace, we are proud to support the Steamboat Sailors shopping place.
It's time now for your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
My name is Sam Campbell, and I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm number 45, and I play post and center. I've been playing for 8 years, and I also like to play soccer, and I run cross country. Outside of school and sports, I'm also involved in orchestra. I play the violin. I've played it for 11 years. I'd like to go to college at Duke or UW, and I don't think I'll play anything in college, maybe intramurals, and probably either soccer or basketball. In 10 years, I see myself working in the field for marine biology, and my favorite subject in school is either Spanish or AP Bio. My favorite movie is Free Solo because it's super dramatic, and I love the people in it, and the soundtrack is amazing. Last summer, I went to a marine biology camp in North Carolina for 2 weeks, and we stayed at UNC Wilmington and did a whole bunch of field work on the beaches in North Carolina, so that was super cool. My goal for the season is to work on my shot form and become consistent, and my goals for life are being successful and happy. What I will remember most about being a sailor is all of the people that I play sports with. Like, I love the teams and I love the coaches, and just the team culture is amazing. My name's Sam Campbell. I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm proud to be a sailor.
That was your Steamboat Sailor Spotlight on 105.7 KTYV Sports on FM.
This is Steamboat Sailors Basketball, brought to you by Yampa Valley Bank, Alpine Lumber, The Corner Slice, Mountain View Car Wash, Russell's Auto Salon, Steamboat Ace Hardware, UC Health at Yampa Valley Medical Center, Chris Puckett at the downtown Edward Jones office, Steamboat Resorts by Wyndham Vacation Rentals, and Mountain Mattress and Furniture.
Now let's go to the booth for the call of Steamboat Sailors Basketball.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Second half action at Kelly Meek Gymnasium in what is a pretty close one here. Sailors girls down 11-7 against the Palisade Bulldogs. Defensively, Ryan, the Sailors girls have been playing masterfully, but on the offensive end, they really just haven't been able to get it going yet. Talk about for a moment what Palisade has been able to do to kind of just stymie this Sailors offense in that first half.
Yeah, we saw kind of late into the second there, they're really taking advantage of those second chance opportunities when the Sailors just couldn't get an effective box out, or if not everybody was boxing out, they would grab the board and then they can either kick it right back into their offense, but we even saw them just go right back up with it, and they got a couple buckets that way. So it's really going to come down to the Sailors controlling the paint here in the second half and making them force those outside contested shots.
Sailors girls coming out of the timeout here. Like I said, 11-7, 7:40 to play in the third quarter. As Katie Lake will get us started off on the far side, she'll inbound it. Sailors on the floor, Simmons, May, Campbell, Epstein, and Lake. Lake finds J.C. May. May's going to bring it up, moving left to right on your radio dial. She gets it stolen away. Now it's going to be worked over to Macaskill, and J.C. May's able to steal it back. So the Sailors work it up the floor. Little handoff pass from Epstein to Simmons, and that's some great ball movement. Campbell's unable to finish it off. And now Palisade, with another defensive stop, is going to have an opportunity. Nice defensive play there from Campbell as she's able to pick it away from Macaskill. Now she's getting bothered. Campbell's going to get tied up with it. And, man, you'd like to think that if you were Campbell in that situation, I think you got to get it away earlier.
Yeah, she just got ganged up on right there in the corner by the Palisade bench. Two defenders ripping at the ball, but the jump ball called in the possession is ultimately still the Sailors.
J.C. May going to check out of the game here for a moment. Katie Lake will check back in. Here's Shelby Weiss. Weiss working, tried to find Simmons. Simmons off the inbounds pass. It's going to be a turnover, as little confusion on the floor. Palisade didn't know who was inbounding it. As now the Bulldogs going to send Macaskill to do the honors. Macaskill looks inside, finds Letek. Letek now bounces it out to Flores. Flores drives in for the bucket, no good. Pulled away by Campbell. Sam Campbell working. Going to give this one over to Simmons. Erica Simmons finds Katie Lake. Lake now at the top of the key. Lake gives it over to Campbell. Now to Simmons. 3-ball on the way. No good. Pulled down by the Bulldogs. And, man, that height along the boards is just playing a huge factor into it for this Bulldogs team. Sailors just really unable to compete when it comes to getting these boards up on the glass.
Yeah, because these Palisade posts are actually not only bigger than the Sailors posts, but they're really good at getting into the right position for those rebounds, and they're really good at getting into position to make it easy for their guards to get an easy pass into them. Erica Simmons gets called for the illegal screen there, and she's going to take a seat with her 4th foul.
Simmons, one of the smaller girls on this team, but there have been many times, Ryan, that we have seen Simmons get into foul trouble, as she's one of the more physical players on this Sailors defense.
Yeah, it's just kind of just because she plays that point guard position, so she's always guarding the person who's handling the ball the most on defense, but she's also just a really, really hustle-oriented player, and she likes to get after it on the defensive end. And when you're in this man defense, as Shelby Weiss hits a big three, when you're in this man defense, you got to kind of cut back on the fouls. As you see, she has 4.
Big time 3 for Shelby Weiss. As we said earlier in the first half, we knew that she was going to hit one eventually, and sure enough she does. Couldn't have come in a bigger time, as the Sailors trail by 5, 15-10. 5:35 to go in the third quarter. Inbounding is going to be Palisade. Here we go for Kendall Macaskill. Macaskill looks inside, finds Magdalena Letek, and an offensive foul is going to be called here as the Sailors get it back. Shelby Weiss along the baseline going to inbound it for the Sailors. Another change up here as Alexis Marishak checks in the game. Marishak, the 6'2" center, wreaking havoc for this Bulldogs team. Weiss inbounds pass, tipped out. Sailors gonna get it back. Weiss looks over, finds Campbell. Campbell back to Weiss. Weiss looks up. And now she's going to dish it over to Lake. Into Epstein. Epstein with the wide open pass to Campbell, and she just whiffs the 10-foot jumper. She had it wide open. And now Letek and company are going to come back with it on the other end. Magdalena Letek just chooses to slow it down as she gives it over to Macaskill. Macaskill back up now to Kaylee Chutka. Chutka inside. Marishak posting up versus Epstein. And the second attempt, third attempt. They're just out-rebounding the Sailors right now. Finally, Campbell's able to come away with it, and she'll draw a foul under the basket. This one goes against Bella Gigot.
And, I mean, you said it earlier on, the height not really paying too big of a dividend for Palisade on the scoreboard, but those rebounds, those second, third, and even fourth attempts in some situations are really helping them maintain this lead and control the tempo of the entire game. So the Sailors are going to take it into the offensive zone here.
Sailors going to inbound it. It'll be Shelby Weiss. 4:47 to play in the third. 15-10. Sailors down by 5. Weiss looks over, finds J.C. May. May thought about lining up the 3-ball. Instead gives it back to Weiss. Weiss going to cross over dribble, send it out to Katie Lake. Lake now at the top of the key. She's working versus Macaskill. Inside, here's Epstein. Epstein trying to muscle her way to the basket. Indeed, she will. 15-12. That's a big-time bucket from the junior. Macaskill to Letek. Letek to Marishak. Posts up. And a double dribble called on Marishak, as that'll be another turnover for the Bulldogs. Sailors trail by 3, 4:17 to play. Third quarter action. It's Shelby Weiss. Weiss looks over, finds Epstein. Now to Lake. Katie Lake driving into the corner. It's Harrison, and Harrison has an errant pass there. Weiss has to go chase it, and now an off-ball foul is going to be called, this time against Macaskill, as you can see her frustrations flowing out onto the court. Kendall Macaskill having some words with the referee now, as she looks to be fed up. So the Sailors inbound it. Macaskill's going to be on Katie Lake. Lake looking to go to her right. Macaskill guards her well as she's trying to force her to the left. Little dish and dunk here from Epstein and Weiss. Weiss gets the rebound off her missed three-point shot, dishes it back out to May. May's going to stutter step, find Weiss again just beyond the three-point arc. Into the corner, J.C. May, pitch and catch to Weiss. Macaskill almost steals it away. She tips it out of bounds, and the Sailors are going to inbound it once more. 3:36 to play in the third. 15-12. Here's Weiss, down low. May pulls the trigger, buries it. J.C. May evens things up at 15. Big time moment for the senior point guard as she knots it with 3.5 to play in the third. Foul on the other end. This one looking to go against Epstein. J.C. May showing a lot of poise there as she lines it up and knocks it down.
Yeah, you can see at the top of the Palisade defense, Macaskill coming up in that 2-3. She's kind of coming up all the way to the black line and kind of putting a little bit extra pressure on the Sailors' primary ball handlers, and she's a lengthy defender, so and she's gotten quite a few deflections up to this point and even a couple steals, so she's making it tough for the Sailors on offense.
Latek buries her 2 free throws, and that's where fouls come into play. Magdalena Latek puts the Bulldogs back up by 2. Katie Lake loses it. And now on the other end, it's going to be the Bulldogs timeout called. It's a referee timeout. And it's for a scratch on the knee of Latek. They're going to make her go to the bench right quick. She'll sub out. Marina Flores will sub in. So Latek's going to have to get that cleaned up before she can come back out. Alicia Yanowich. Yanowich finds Flores. Flores is going to take it into the far corner. She's guarded by May. Inside, turnaround floater. That one's no good. Trying to teardrop its way in was Morgan Selden. And now a tie-up's going to be called as Shelby Weiss was involved in that play. Weiss gets knotted with Kaylee Chutka. And this one will be awarded back to Palisade. Yanowich from the near side. She's guarded by Lake. Yanowich looks over, finds Flores. Flores at the top of the key. Crossover dribble. She drives in, puts up a shot. No shot, the refs are going to say. And this one goes back with the Sailors. I'm uncertain of what that call was. Did you?
I think he said Elizabeth Hawkins had a hold there, kind of.
So it was an off-ball foul.
Yeah, it definitely was an off-ball foul.
So Hawkins is going to get a steal on the other end. Elizabeth Hawkins comes up in the clutch with 2:36 to play now. 17-15, 2-point game. Here we go. Shot under the basket. That one's good. Hawkins getting it done on both ends of the floor. Lake gets trapped. Works it over to Weiss. And now Weiss gets called for steps, as that's an unfortunate play. Shelby Weiss just ran into her teammate J.C. May. And you can see the frustrations boiling over there as She gets called for the unfortunate travel call. 19-15, Sailors down by 4 now. 2:19 to play. Sailors are in this game, but it just gives a sensation like the Bulldogs have been holding them at arm's distance for the majority of this one.
Yeah, every time the Sailors seem to make a small dent in the lead, then Palisade seemingly comes back and hits a nice shot or gets a couple fouls on back-to-back possessions and just makes it tough for the Sailors to really come back. It may only be 4 points, but with these longer possessions that here coming in the second half, you never really know what's going to happen.
So the Sailors get another takeaway, and now it's stolen away back on the other end. Latek's going to pull it out. She's guarded by Lake. Lake getting a little too physical, and Latek's able to dish it off to Marina Flores. Here's a shot high off the window. That one's no good. Katie Lake trying to push the pace, and Weiss just unable to corral that one as she tips it out of bounds. 19-15. Sailors going to have to draw back on defense. Janowicz. Inbounds pass to Janowicz, going to be inbounding it for Palisade. And Sam Campbell checks into the game here. JC May going to have a seat on the bench. Simmons still on the bench as well with 4 fouls. Trying to break the full court press. Here we go, it's Palisade. Janowicz at the top of the key. Guarded by Campbell. Works it over to Flores. Flores going to try to find her teammate on the inside. That one has a little bit too much on it as it goes out of bounds for the Bulldogs. Sailors getting lucky here. Opportunities arise. Katie Lake finds Weiss. They're trying to bring it up the floor. Running out of time. Lake gives it over to Campbell. Campbell back to Weiss. She's near side top corner. Down low to Harrison. Harrison on the baseline, steps out of a defender, now gives it to Campbell, and now it's off the toe of Palisade. Sailors get it back, but that's not what you like to see. 19-15, 1:12 to play. Sailors need a bucket here. Shelby Weiss inbounding it. Finds Campbell, puts up a shot, blocked. Pulled down by Selden and Palisade. And now on the other end, Latek's going to get a shot off, and it'll be a foul on the floor. No free throws. Sailors with another lucky break. Weiss going to have some words with the referee.
Not really too sure why.
Palisade going to inbound it in the offensive zone. Latek gives it back to Addie Steele. She puts up a deep 2-point shot. No good there. Latek gets the board. Latek inside. Here's a nice ball movement play, and Hawkins caps it off with a nice lay-in. 21-15. Sailors down by 6. Final 36 seconds in the third quarter. Shelby Weiss with the underhand scoop shot for 2. 21-17. Sailors still trying to play catch-up. On the other end, big-time shot right there from Addie Steele as she knocks it home with the deep 15-footer for 2. Steele with ice in her veins. 23-17. Final 10 seconds to go here in the third. Here's Harrison inside to Campbell. Back out to Lake. Lake's going to find Weiss, puts up a shot at the buzzer, and she draws the foul. So as time expires, Shelby Weiss draws the foul just beyond the 3-point arc. Are they going to give her 2 for it, or are they going to give her 3?
2 shots.
So they will give her 2 shots. Say she was in front of the 3-point line, and now Shelby Weiss has a chance to close this one up even further. 23-17. She misses the first one. She'll have one more as we get ready for final fourth quarter action here on 105.7 KTYV. Weiss hits the second one, and now that makes it 23-18. So 23-18, Sailors looking to close this one out with a W. and it's been close all night, Ryan. Really, they just haven't been able to find their groove on the offensive end. They've been looking to go to everybody to see if they can get shots, but no one's really been able to take full control of that ball and put it in. It's been a lack of offensive showing here tonight for the Sailors.
Yeah, and kind of as you talked about not too long ago, just the Palisade Bulldogs have done a really good job of keeping the Sailors at arm's distance. We saw a perfect example. The Sailors went down and got a nice 2-point bucket, and immediately Palisade came back with a 3. So yeah, I think, as you said, it's kind of going to be getting on a run here in the fourth, and they kind of got to speed it up a little bit and get a little bit intense coming into the fourth because they want to close this 5-point gap and really explode on offense.
So the Sailors going to be looking to their leaders here in the fourth quarter as they trail 23-18. Sailors are going to start us off here in the fourth. And guess who's back on the floor? It's Erica Simmons. Simmons playing with 4 fouls. She's got to be cautious. Weiss at the top of the key, going to drive in with her left hand, runs off the pick set by Epstein. Now she dishes it back out to Harrison. Harrison finds Simmons. Simmons gets it stolen away, and Latek on the other end. That's a nice defensive hustle from Erica Simmons as she was able to tip it away from behind on Magdalena Latek, and she couldn't get the shot off. That saves an easy lay-in for the Sailors. Here's Campbell. Campbell misses the pass to Epstein as she was trying to fire it cross-court to a slashing Epstein who would have came in and probably got that one to fall. Instead, it's going to be another turnover. Palisade looking to redeem themselves with this possession here. It's tipped out by Campbell. 23-18, 7:31 to play in the fourth. Sailors have some work to do here. Campbell in the face of Macaskill. She's running out of time. Macaskill's got to do something with it. She'll dish it off to Addie Steele. Now Steele's going to shake and bake till she gets beyond midcourt, sends it over back to Macaskill, and now Macaskill finds Latek, who slows it down. Latek inside, Selden for 2, no good. Air ball out of bounds. Sailors take over. Weiss will inbound. Gigo comes onto the floor. Addie Steele going to take a seat on the bench. Weiss finds Epstein. Epstein trying to make a meticulous move here. Instead, she throws it away. Latek comes away with the steal. Now Gigo's going to have it just beyond midcourt. At the top of the key, it's Latek. Latek trying to find her teammate to post up. It'll be another turnover for Palisade as they step out of bounds. That's Bella Gigo stepping onto the red.
I mean, that's some good defense by the Sailors there, forcing those turnovers. Be a really good way to kind of get things jump-started early in the fourth.
Sailors working inside. Here's Weiss, wide open, 10-footer, you betcha. 23-20. It's a 3-point game. Macaskill, other end. Timeout Palisade. And the Sailors are rolling. 23-20. 6:38 to play in the fourth. Sailors down by 3. Want to say another quick shout out to some of our sponsors here on 105.7 KTYV and on the World Wide Web at SteamboatRadio.com. Once again, it's Ryan Hansen, Loan Epstein in the studio.
The Yampa Valley Bank, the Yampa Valley's only locally owned bank, member FDIC. Alpine Lumber, employee owned and operated, the contractor's choice, the homeowner's friend. Mountain View Car Wash, helping the Sailors clean the competition between town and McDonald's on Highway 40. Russell's Auto Salon, your premier full-service auto body shop where you always meet by accident. Russell's Auto Salon, 879-1515. Steamboat Ace Hardware, the helpful place for hardware, plumbing, tools, grills, garden, and more, by offering customers knowledgeable advice, helpful service, and quality products. The Paoli Group, if you're searching for your own prime real estate, give them a call at 870-0552. Celebrations, formerly in celebration of kids, is fun for kids of all ages. Check out the brand new arcade games, 1,600 square foot candy store, and 25 flavors of Hawaiian shaved ice, plus more Schedule your party today at SteamboatCelebrations.com.
Sailors on the defensive end as we're into the fourth quarter here. If you're just joining us, Sailors in a tight one versus the Bulldogs, down 23-20. Here's a shot from Marishak. She loses it. Weiss is able to keep it in for a moment, and then it trickles out of bounds. Palisade's going to retain possession here. So in the inside paint, it's Elizabeth Hawkins, who's standing there at 6'2", and the Sailors have done a pretty good job defending her tonight. It's been a combination of Rose Epstein and Sam Campbell, two of the bigger girls on this Sailors team, who have taken turns guarding her, and they have done a nice job against one of Palisade's leading scorers. Here's Hawkins inside. That's a shot, and that one's good from Morgan Selden. Hawkins will get credit for the assist, and now the Sailors, a foul's going to be called on Selden here as she just stops a barreling Simmons in her tracks coming up the near side. 25-20, 6:14 to play in the fourth. And with 7 fouls against the Palisade Bulldogs, that'll be enough to put the Sailors into the bonus. So Erica Simmons is going to be at the free throw line shooting a 1-and-1. Simmons' first one is no good off the front iron. Marishak's there for the board. Palisade now in crunch time, looking to extend this lead on a conference opponent. Nice play there from Katie Lake. She steals it away. Katie Lake up the far sideline, showing off her jets. Loses it. Stutter step. Finds Simmons. Over to Harrison. Harrison back to Simmons. They work it around the horn. Deep three from Lake. Misses everything. And she shakes her head at the bench saying, oh no, that was not the shot to take, especially in a situation like this.
We know she's pretty rusty, and I mean, at halftime you saw her come out, and while everyone was getting situated on the bench, getting the water bottles filled up, putting the right spot, things like that, you saw Katie Lake out there getting those extra shots in, so I guess she must not have been feeling it in the first half enough.
So the Sailors down by 5, which I think is a pretty good threshold, Ryan. If you don't really want to go down by more than that, it's already a 2-possession game. Sailors need to get a stop here and try to even it back up on the offensive end. Here's Magdalena Latek along the baseline. It's going to be worked up top. Here's Bella Gigo now to Marishak, and she drives it home for 2. Marishak with the nice lay-in right over the top of the Sailors' defense. Epstein loses it, and that's a big time to have a turnover as a whistle's going to be called on the floor. So Epstein lost the ball, and then she, in an effort to go get it back, draws the foul. And so many times we've seen the Sailors get caught up in similar situations where they let their emotions get the best of them, and the next thing you know, they're swinging after the ball, and that's what Epstein just did. She gets her 3rd foul of the night. Macaskill inside. Marishak again can't get it to go this time, and it goes out of bounds. Sailors catch a break there. It'll go back with Steamboat. Katie Lake slaps the ball, calls the play. They've got to bring it beyond midcourt. Simmons is going to take it herself up the far side. Simmons into the corner. Here's Harrison. Sierra Harrison working, ducks under a defender, finds J.C. May. Megan a pivot. Look inside. Out to Lake. Pump fake, drives in for 2. Katie Lake, big bucket there, 27-22 as she gets to the cup. On the other end, high shot, nothing doing. Simmons on the ground with it. Katie Lake comes up with it. Sailors with a takeaway. Big defensive stop there as Simmons brings it up the near side. Foul's going to be called again. This time it's going to go against the Sailors, and they're not going to let Simmons try to draw the blocks. She does that thing where she comes and she tries to sprint up the sideline as hard as she can and she tries to draw contact, and the refs are going to, they gave the last one to her, but this time they're going to say no way as she steps out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover for the Sailors.
Yeah, kind of. She initiates that contact knowing that the other team does have 7 fouls trying to get those free throws.
Well, knowing that she's much littler and she's rarely going to get called for an offensive foul on that.
And she's most of the time going to get the call.
So she uses it to her advantage. That time it doesn't work out, though. And now Palisade, before they have a chance to inbound it, is going to take a timeout with 3:55 to go in the fourth, 27-22. So it seems like every time the Sailors make a bucket, Palisade's able to answer. And with that, you know, it begs the question, what do the Sailors need to do here to kind of speed things up and take the lead?
I mean, you saw it after Katie Lake got that nice layup a couple possessions back. Most of the Sailors defense people were on the defensive people were on the free throw line of the opposition. They were all the way up, and there was almost a fast break given up, but Katie Lake had to hustle all the way to half court, stop the fast break, and then rotate back. So I think it is just a matter of the Sailors actually getting all the way back on defense, covering the hole, and then manning up from there.
Palisade inbounding. Marishak can't hit. Macaskill had the second attempt wide open. She couldn't get it to go either, and now Letek's going to pull it away. Letek into the corner. Macaskill working. Here we go. Now they slow it down. It'll be Flores. Marina Flores drives the baseline. She's guarded by Simmons. That's good defense there. It's tipped out of bounds. Sailors going to get it back. What a defensive stop from the Sailors as they were just playing 100% full go. They get a stop, and now they've got to convert on the offensive end. Lake inside to Harrison. Harrison's guarded by 3 Palisade girls, and a tie-up's going to be called as she gets wrapped around Marina Flores. 27-22, Sailors still trailing by 5.
Sierra Harrison getting the most minutes she's had all season tonight, and just that's something you like to see. She is a really good hustle player, and she's really good at getting those backside rebounds and filling to where the ball is going.
Epstein checks back into the game, and she comes out with a nice stop there, pushes Bella Gigot all the way to the near side. And gets her to run out of bounds. So the Sailors gather possession. On the defensive end now, they go. Here's Magdalena Letek. Letek into the corner. Marishak along the baseline. Whistle's going to be called. Crowd yelling. And it'll stay with Palisade. So Kendall Macaskill, the 6'1" junior guard, is going to inbound it. They lose it for a moment. It's gathered by Gigo. She puts up a shot. It tallies on the rim for a moment before falling in for 2. Make it 29-22 now with 2:45 to play. Ball's almost taken away. Sailors need a bucket. Here we go. It's May over to Lake. Epstein for 3. Way short. Not even close. I'm not sure what she was going for there. As Epstein trying to walk that one off. Ball's out of bounds. It'll go back with the Sailors. Let's see if she can redeem herself. As Simmons comes into the game. May's going to check out. 2:22 to play in the fourth. 29-22. Simmons loses it. On the floor, it's saved, and a timeout's going to be called by Palisade as they get bailed out of that situation. Sailors trailing 29-22 with 2:15 to play. Somebody's got to hit a shot here. It's not going to be Epstein. It's not going to be Weiss. I think you might want to look to Sam Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't gotten as many shots as she usually gets, but I mean, the attempts that she's taken have been good, pretty high percentage shots, and she's got quite a few of them to fall tonight, so I think that would definitely be a solid course of action. I mean, of course, you do have Rose Epstein in there, so that kind of helps open it up in the paint a little bit.
We haven't seen Weiss shoot a shot from 3 either since the last one, which she made. So you might be looking her direction as well. Somebody has to chip away at this, though, as the Sailors trail by 7 with 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this one. They're trying to string together their 3rd win in a row on the season. It would be huge for them if they were able to do so. Bella Gigo going to inbound it for the Bulldogs. Sailors on the defensive end. She finds Marishak. Marishak immediately picked up by Lake. Now she gives it back to Letek. Letek guarded by Epstein on the perimeter. Finds Marina Flores. Flores going to drive with her left hand, crossover dribble. Runs off the screen set by Simmons, and it's going to be an illegal one as Gigo gets called for the off-ball illegal screen. Sailors with a big break there. They can't mess up this opportunity as Harrison checks in the game for Simmons.
Yeah, exactly what needed to happen happened, so they really need to capitalize on the offensive end.
Blake conveys it to May. May at the top of the key. Inside to Epstein. Epstein throws it away, and it's stolen by the Bulldogs. As Epstein has had some costly plays here late in the 4th, creating turnover after turnover, and that hurts the Sailors as Marina Flores is going to get sent to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1. That hurts, 29-22. Sailors being sloppy with the basketball late. They've got to clean things up if they want to get a win at home in Kelly Meek Gymnasium. Here's Gigo. Free throw no good off the back iron. She gets her own rebound, second attempt. Can't get it to go. Campbell's there for the board, and now a foul's going to be called. This one is going to go against Palisade. It's an over the back. Campbell is going to head to the charity stripe for some big-time shots right here.
I'll just have it folded up.
97 seconds to play.
Yeah, no problem.
Sailors boys getting set to come out onto the court. Unfortunately, we will not be on the call for that one, Ryan. If you do want to hear more Sailors sports, you can keep your dials locked in on 105.7 as the Sailors boys ice hockey team will be facing off against Aspen tonight. That game will be at 7:45. Brian Harvey, one of my good friends and mentors, on the call there. You can catch him once again. That game will be at 7:45 on 105.7 KTYV. Jump ball on the floor. Ryan, we look ahead to tomorrow. Rifle coming into town. Both these teams, Sailors boys and girls, will be playing tomorrow. Those games will be at 12:30 and 2 o'clock. You expect the Sailors boys, let's talk about them for a moment. You think they roll Palisade here tonight?
I don't know about roll because you can never really count any of the teams in our league out because as we saw multiple times last year, there were some big upsets, so you never really know, but I'm sure the Sailors coming in have scouted Rifle very well. They definitely have a well put together defensive scheme for the game, so it'll definitely be one that you'd enjoy seeing.
And Sailors boys, like I said, getting set to come in and warm up here. They're also in the midst of a hot streak. They've been able to win a couple games in a row. You think they already got the ball rolling, or you think we're still looking as we delve into this conference play?
It wasn't the most optimal start to the season, but I really do think they've hit their stride here coming out of the Roosevelt tournament. They kind of figured out their offensive identity, and we saw it play out when they came back home and played, but So it's a good look for the Sailors. They understand their identity. Each player knows their role and what they can contribute, and they all know what each other can contribute as well, and they buy into the system, and they're going to be playing some good basketball tomorrow.
5-7 on the year they are, and 7 losses to start out the season. Like you said, that's not ideal, but a lot of the goals, talking to a lot of this boys team before the season started, a lot of their goals were to get 20 wins, over 20 wins. And obviously that mark has came and gone. It's not going to happen this year, but is a conference championship still out of the question, or is that fully within reach?
I think considering the Sailors' talent and the fact that they're going into league play firing on all cylinders, I think that is definitely within reach, especially considering that the league this year is going to be pretty competitive all around.
Sailors girls with the final 36 seconds in the game here, trailing 29-24. JC May just made a big-time bucket. Now a foul is going to be called against the Sailors as Katie Lake was forced to foul there. That will send Gigo to the line for a 1-and-1. So it's a 5-point game. You've got 32 seconds. The one thing, Ryan, is that Palisade, not the best free throw shooting team. We've seen they have not been very consistent here today as Gigo misses another one. Right as I say that, it's saved from going out of bounds, and now the Sailors have an opportunity. Here's Katie Lake beyond midcourt. Into the corner, and a timeout's going to be called from Coach Ibarra as the Sailors girls looked a little bit lost out there. He's going to get them reconfigured, and they will draw something up in the huddle, down by 5. 23 seconds to play in the fourth. What do you think he's drawing up here?
I mean, he definitely wasn't happy with the pacing. The girls kind of got the ball and then slowed down in the defensive zone before getting into the offensive zone, and Coach George was kind of like, what are you guys doing? Like, get it across the line. So he got the timeout. He's definitely going to kind of draw a play, probably to set some screens up for a shooter, maybe Shelby Weiss. I don't know. Maybe even Sam Campbell from the short corner or elbow.
Coach Ibarra, a great game manager. Let's see if he can draw something up here that's able to succeed. Sailors on the floor to close out the final 23 seconds. It'll be Katie Lake, Shelby Weiss, Rose Epstein, JC May, and